Happy Catechist Sunday to all catechists in the parish and catechists the persons who help teach us to carry on the faith. Oftentimes, these persons are being neglected and they are not seen as their main reason for being at church. But as a catechist, myself, because you might say deaconess as a catechist, I'm a catechist in my right, and the pastor because we to impart the faith through our various homilies. Today, we are going to have the Catechetical Sunday, this Catechetical Sunday, and we're going to have the catechist going to come up here. We're talking persons who teach Sunday school, who teach RCIA class, confirmation class, you know, these persons, baptismal class, these persons going to come up here. We're going to say a prayer for them. Serve and the pastor. We're going to also go straight into the present faithful, and after that is finished, we're going to ask, before the present faithful, we're going to ask the kids to stand. I'm going to say a prayer for them because they are the ones that are going to come each and every Sunday to listen to the teachers. So I must say, you know, to the catechists today, and those who are watching us live, and who still regard themselves as a catechist, and who still try to impart the faith, even at work or in their surroundings, they are still catechists. And we like today's Sunday is dedicated to you. Also, you know, I shouldn't use the word dedicated, this is your Sunday because we all dedicate this day to the Lord. So as we prepare ourselves, first I must say that I wasn't at the training, the seminar yesterday. To be honest, I totally forgot about it. You know, it's like time goes on my head yesterday, so you know, I have to be at hand. So I totally forgot about it. But the pastor told me that the same struggles that we have here at St. Peter's Church, the same struggles that the entire archdiocese are. But nevertheless, we you know, pull through. And a point of sad note, one of our parishioners, Sister Dorothy, some of them might know her, Sister Dara. I got the news this morning from Sister Pauline that she has gone to the Lord, and may her soul rest in peace. Sister Dorothy has been ailing for some time, and I know that I think Sister Ludel, Sister Louie, and myself, and I know Sister Claudia, and she's not a Eucharistic minister, visited her. You know, I happened to see her a couple of weeks ago, thank God. And our caregiver now is the family. Forgive me, I forget that Sister Claudia, Sister Julia Claudia, whatever you call her. She was the one that took care of her, and she was the one that found her when she fast asleep. So keep her in your prayers and the rest of the family to be strong. So as we gather together, Catechetical Sunday, could we all stand as we sing our gathering hymn, We Have Come From a Distance.
A reading from the book of the prophet Amos. Hear this, you who trample upon the needy and destroy the poor of the land. When will the new moon be over? You ask, that he may sell our grain to the Sabbath, that we may display the weeds. We will diminish the ephah, add the scale, and fix our scales for cheating. We will buy the lowly for silver, and the poor for a pair of sandals. Even the refuse of the wheat we will sell. The Lord has sown by the pride of Jacob. Never will I forget a thing they have done. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Response for a psalm. The response is, praise the Lord who lifts up the poor.
Praise the Lord who lifts up the poor.
Praise you, servants of the Lord. Praise the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord, both now and forever.
Praise the Lord who lifts up the poor.
High above all nations is the Lord. Above the heavens is the glory. Who is like the Lord our God, who is enthroned on high, and looks upon the heavens and the earth below.
Praise the Lord who lifts up the poor.
He looks from the dunghill, he lifts up the poor, to see them with princess, with the princess of the own people.
Praise the Lord who lifts up the poor.
A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to Timothy. Beloved, first of all, I ask that supplication, prayer, and petition, thanksgiving be offered for everyone, for our kings and for all in our church. Lift up the holy hands without anger, argument. Word is
You cannot serve both God with mammon. The gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
There's a little verse in Hebrews 13, verses 7 to 9. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Do not be carried away by all kinds of strange teachings. Aren't we getting a lot of kinds of strange teachings? We think it's something new. It goes back to Hebrews. Hebrews was written. 3,000 were baptized at one time. They were coming in droves to the faith. They were giving up their lives for the faith. They weren't denying their faith. They'd be butchered because of the love of God, the sense and the feeling of being with the Lord and serving Him only. Hebrews was written at this time because the letter of Hebrews, go and read it. People are already drifting away. They're saying, what is going on? They're drifting away. What's happening to the faith that they caught fire with? So isn't it very much like today in our churches? Those of us who can remember 30 or 40 years ago, remember when our churches were full. The people came. They came early. They stayed late. They knew the faith. Today, we're tepid. We're weak. We're dragging our feet. And the good thing, it's not a good thing, but the catechist yesterday, I went up, I bought some materials and everything else, and our catechist went there and everything else, and they came back and they said, this is the whole diocese diocese. The whole world is like that. Where are the people? They're taking on, you know what? I've learned, Desmond laughs at me because I don't have a gizmo. Okay? I don't have a gizmo. But you know what? I'm tired of looking at people looking at the gizmo all the time. They may even be here, but they're checking on their 200,000 friends, personal friends. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. People, and I was talking in the rectory, you see people sitting around on a table and everything else. Everybody's got their nose in the gizmo. I will never have one. And Desmond, if I ever get one, cut my hands off.
I will not do that.
Cut my hands off. That's an order. No, people are drifting. We need to catch fire again. We've got to get them, and it requires work. How many of us remember, many of us can remember going out to Mandeville with Sister Bernadette, Sister Una, and Sister Kathleen Burke. The Trinity out there. Bernadette had the retreat house. In the early days, she had to schedule different groups to come because there'd be 3 groups that want a certain Sunday. Kathleen Burke, she was the minister to all of the sick. She would drag priests here there. We visited the sick because she was there. Una not only built the high school, she built colleges out there. Everything out there now that we have. But they're all gone back home now. But they were what? They were Irish. They were Irish. And when I grew up, all the priests were Irish, all the sisters were Irish. You thought you had to be Irish to be a priest or a sister. And about 25 years ago, Bernadette went up on her leave, and she came back from Ireland. Ireland, the backbone of our Catholic faith for so long. The backbone. You want to see anybody fight for the faith? You go to Ireland. You fight for the faith. She came back and she said, Father Richard, the faith is dying in Ireland. Is dying in Ireland. It didn't ring a bell, but it was the truth. People were getting connected with this, with that, with their materials, with the world, and they were drifting away, just like Hebrews said, they were drifting away from the faith. You know, when you drift away from the faith, something else replaces it. And we know today that the faith is being replaced by all kinds of crazy things and crazy heresies. Now, last week we talked about that person in Kansas who remember the difficulties she had a classroom, and one of the children was saying, a boy wanted to verify that he was going to be a girl, so you either had to say she or they and everything else, and the teacher wouldn't do it. She got thrown out. She got thrown out of school, but she went through the courts in Kansas, U.S., and she got $65,000 because you have a right to free speech. You know, the only ones who seem to have a right to free speech are the ones that give us all kinds of bad words and everything else. They say that's freedom of speech. They can burn down a national flag. They can burn down anything. That's freedom of speech. The boy, you say you're a Catholic, you believe in marriage between a man and a woman, and you believe a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. They are what they are at birth, designated at birth. You are being stifled all over. So here is beloved Ireland. Beloved Ireland. Look what happened to beloved Ireland. And all these Irish names. These 4 people who defended the faith. It says, a Christian teacher thrown in jail after refusing to use trans students' preferred pronouns. Okay? an Irish teacher, has in his words been placed behind bars because he would not call a boy a girl. Enoch Burke, who teaches history, politics, and German at Wilson's Hospital School, was arrested Monday after he violated a court order prohibiting him from teaching classes or even being present on the school campus in Westmeath. The Irish news outlet RTE said. He is now in Mountjoy prison, where he will stay until he purges his contempt of court issues from further orders. The initial ruling was handed down by High Court Judge Michael Quinn, an Irishman. High Court, Michael Quinn, an Irishman, telling him this. Imagine. When you drift from the faith, all kinds of foolishness and all kinds of stupidness creeps in. Burke's ordeal began after he refused to call a student who was transitioning from male to identifying as female as they instead of he. The educator refused, prompted the school officials to place him on administrative leave until a disciplinary process was completed. He says, I love my school with its motto, actions, not words. The embattled teacher told the court, but I am here today because I said I would not call a boy a girl. The dust-up ended when Burke was being locked behind bars after he refused to stay away from his classroom. On Friday, Quinn issued an order for Burke's arrest after he was found on the school's premises, sitting in an empty classroom, presumably as a sign of protest over school and government officials' violation of his sincerely held Christian convictions. And that's where we're going to have to fight world over. Freedom of speech. If it offends somebody, it offends somebody. A lot of stuff is offending us, but that's free to be spoken. But if we ever say we're a real Christian, that offends everybody and you're canceled out. You're gone forever. No, we're not canceled out. We have to keep up the fight. Transgenderism is against my Christian belief. He said, he told the judge, it is contrary to the scriptures, contrary to the ethos of the Church of Ireland, of my school. And we know, we're already getting evidence, international evidence from doctors, that this is not working. People transition and they feel bad and they want to go back and they were confused. And the suicide rate is 6 times the normal for these people who do this. It's not because they were being clapped on the back for their ideas. It's because internally they knew something was wrong. They made a mistake. And these people, medication, so many just love to do this. There's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money in it. So, can't go, he had to go according to the scripture. The teacher has had no criminal record, is expected to be moved in with general prison population Tuesday, according to the Irish Times, on a landing with other non-violent offenders. He will be placed in a single-person cell with a toilet, shower, and television. And he'll go to court again. You see what is happening in our world. They're trying to crush the sense of family. They're trying to crush the sense of who we are. They catch people in confusion and they want to manipulate them. And like the one last week in Kansas, I mean, the teacher had to lie to the parent. Couldn't say, and the school board was it, you have to lie to the parent. How are you going to do that? When the parent comes to a parent-teachers meeting, when you come to a parent-teachers meeting, don't you want to know from the teacher how your child is doing? And the school board and the government and everybody else is trying to hide it. And you're supposed to hide it too. You're supposed to lie and say all kinds of nice things. Maybe say, well, he's getting all A's, or she's getting all A's, when she's getting C's and D's and F's. Where do the lies end? When do you call a lie a lie? And face it, this is happening all over the world. And the UN is one of the perpetrators. The UN Charter on Human Rights. Who did the UN Charter on Human Rights in 1948? Catholics. Catholics. On human rights. What real human rights were. And how they identified the human rights. It has nothing to do with the so-called human rights we have today being pushed on us. And the UN Charter now this is the United Nations Charter, is there's resistance. You know, blessed Africans. You know, the ones who are standing firmly against all of this foolishness? It's the Africans, it's the African nations. They know it's foolishness and they're standing against it. And they're working, hopefully, with the Pope and other religious leaders who believe the same things, that this is nonsense. But the Charter is trying to make abortion a human right. A human right. We're drifting. Hebrews is telling us we are drifting far from the faith, far from reason, far from reality in this this newly anointed, whatever it is. Okay? We cannot serve two masters. It's either God or mammon. Not man, mammon. And Hebrews has it the best when he said, do not be carried away by all kinds of strange teachings. And we have them. We used to call them heresies, and now it's even beyond heresies. We don't even have words for the kind of foolishness we're trying to perpetrate in the name of truth, in the name of solidarity, in the name of love of neighbor, no prejudice and everything. Holy cats, we're going crazy with this newness. Let us, as Catholics and as solid Christians, know that we are under the gun. Little Jamaica, thanks be to God, we have the church schools and we can still impart some faith in our young people. Thanks be to God. The Anglicans have the most schools. We're second with the most schools. And the Seventh-day Adventists are doing a darn good job. You know what really got me the other day was, or maybe a year ago, that they were owed 57 million Jamaican dollars for tuition fees. Seventh-day Adventists, I didn't see them. You know what they did? They reasoned. They don't pay the fees. They go on the road. They go on the streets. And what will come of them if they don't get an education? They took on the burden of that 57 million Jamaican dollars in payment and are asking other people to chip in. That's real Christian witness. All of our churches have to get together. Instead of looking at our differences, which are many, look at where we are solid. Look who we serve. It's Christ we serve. And we do the best we can to serve Christ. But we cannot be able to serve both God and man.
Number 141, Hear, O Lord.
Please stand for the Apostles' Creed. I believe in God, Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit.
These persons, they are the one that teaching the faith for our parishioners and children.
The pastoral activity of the church, the cooperation of a great many people is needed, so that communities as well as individuals may advance to full maturity in faith and continually show forth their faith through the celebration of the liturgy, through study, and through their manner of life. The cooperation is provided by those who devote themselves to catechesis, enlightened by God's Word and the teaching of the Church. Catechists impart to others an initiation or a deeper formation in the realities that they themselves have learned as truths to be followed in living and to be celebrated in liturgy. In this celebration, we will bless the name of the Lord for giving us such co-workers and pray that through the Holy Spirit they will receive the grace they need in their service to the church. He's giving it all to me. Okay, for those who are willing to serve as catechists in the name of St. Elizabeth, please stand or ask them to come forward depending on the number and place. Now I ask of you, are you willing to exercise the ministry of catechesis here?
Okay. I think you can repeat after me. With the help of God, I am ready and willing to serve as catechist along with the catechists of this parish.
May God help you to be good stewards of what has been entrusted to you, and may you and all the catechists who serve in this parish receive the grace you need for your service here at St. E's.
And your response for the entire parish, you said, Lord, hear our prayer.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For the church, may it grow stronger in its resolve to welcome and embrace those who are living on the margins of society. For this, let us pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For leaders of our nations, may their first concern to preserve and foster peace through compassion policies and just systems. For this, let us pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For those who suffer from physical and mental illness, may they be healed through God's divine mercy and be comforted by those who are cared for them. For this, let us pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For families, may they grow stronger in their love and commitment to one another. For this, let us pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For you, catechists, may they be blessed with creative and enthusiasm as stewards of God's gifts. For this, let us pray to the Lord.
Lord,
dear Father, we bless you, Lord. Strengthen these servants of yours in their resolve to dedicate themselves as catechists. Grant that they will strive to share with others what they themselves derive from pondering your word and studying in the church's teachings. And let them gladly join those they teach in honoring and serving in your name. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Thank you, Catechist. You can go to your seats. We're going to ask the children, please stand, and those who are attending our CIA program, please stand now. All
Blessed be the name of the Lord.
and sisters in Christ, that my sacrifice and yours will be acceptable to God, our Almighty God.
Is near or Sept.
You are indeed holy, O Lord, the font of all holiness. Make holy, therefore, these gifts, we pray, extending down your Spirit upon them like the fall, so that they may become for us the body and the blood of Christ. The time he was betrayed and entered willingly into his passion, he took bread, giving thanks, broke it. He gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is for you." In a similar way, when supper was ended, he took the chalice, and once more giving thanks, he gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it, for this is the chalice of my blood."
It's my
This parish, that they will continue the faith for generations upon generations upon generations. Do we have anyone worship with us for the first time? Please stand. I know those two young can just stand for me. I know those two persons.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Welcome now.
And those who are watching us live. We would like to say happy anniversary when it's coming for our pastor. We would like to say how much we appreciate her. I don't like to say appreciate, I like to say appreciate her for you for the 37 years, especially to put up with us, I think about 20 years at St. T Church, especially like me and Warren and many other young persons, you know. We really appreciate and we hope that you'll be able to spend 37 years plus more to come for working for God in the vineyard. Give us a Alright? Okay. As I said, like that our pastor will continue to spend more years to come and God give it good health and strength to continue in his ministry to serve the poor and needy and our parishioners at this church. Thank you, Father. And so said all of us. I know Father Richard A1's sister, Donna, will be celebrating her 65th birthday this year, and also my son will be celebrating his 30th birthday this year. 30. Okay, Donna, you know, happy birthday, you come and happy earth strong when you come. Continue. That's an anniversary, okay. For those who weren't here when I started, I got to do some antiquarian that Sister Dorothy had passed on this morning, and our caregiver.
Sister June.
Our caregiver, Darwin, was visited her. They can understand that she was the one that found her because no one should have visited her. We just asked you to remember Sister Dorothy and our caregiver in our prayers, and we let you know any further development as it comes. Clear is here? I we are clear on peace, but where is he? Yeah? Well, I will continue. The pledge sheets, I know we had some, I don't know what you have, but we just continue to say that as you try to drive, we move right along. So as you try to drive, we're still on the 2nd of October, and we will let you all know any further developments for as you try to drive. And finally, next Sunday, we will be having first communion for 2 young men, Kijan Johnston and Rahim Gilchrist. We will be having first communion for them. Why? When we had the last first communion, they were supposed to be in the class, or in the batch I should say, but they weren't here, and we're going to have it this Sunday coming. We're going to ask all first communion, especially the last set, that made the first communion, could they come and join with them and sit with them, you know, because, you know, to just be unity and give them the support, because, you know, they are your batchmate, regardless of what they are your batchmate. So they are not going to ask to pass along the news that the 4 persons who receive first communion can be here. Parents, and I spoke with Kichon and mother this morning because he's not feeling so well. I said they have to be here on Saturday at 1 p.m. to go through the entire Mass, the entire readings, and everything on that, you know, the act of contrition. Mr. McIntosh, who was the one that guided them through the process, will be here also. So 1 p.m. sharp, I will be here, and it's going to be a long afternoon, and I will not rush anything. Despite it's just the 2 of you, I will not rush anything. So that is for next Sunday. Also, next Sunday, for those who are watching us live, and I'm going to send out a WhatsApp message, will be the last meeting of this church council. It will be the last meeting. That meeting will set the date for nomination and the election among wrapping up things that they have left, I should say, they did not accomplish, because this council coming into a rough time, come right in the heart of pandemic. So I have to give them the praise to continue, you know, to work through those 2.5 or 3 years. But next Sunday is their last meeting. I would appreciate if all members, and when I say all, I mean all members of the last council attend this very important meeting. So if you are watching us, please be at the next meeting. Next week, Sunday, a couple minutes after Mass, and we'll settle down. We are going to have it upstairs, because the first communion kids will be having their local breakfast and get together, and we don't want to disturb them. So church council will be having their team upstairs on our banquet. So what is upstairs we are looking at for church council meeting right now. Clear? We're asking for you, you're missing in action, we are not in action.
Afternoon, everyone. God is good all the time. Okay, all right. So The deacon just informed us that the 25th of September will be a busy day for us. Now, I want to inform you that there will also be another activity that we would like, and we would appreciate your support on this. Now, at the entrance of the church, you will see this flyer. All right, this flyer is just to sensitize you to a bake sale that we would like to have next week. This bake sale is to raise funds for the Archbishop Charity Drive. Right? Last week I spoke about it, and I said it is because of your donation. That's why we have pastors, we have persons with that zeal, with that drive to continue the program, right? It is because of your funding, our funding, right? So we need your support on this. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, let me also say that we have a donation sheet. Now with this donation sheet, I'd like you to just take a look at it. I'll be coming to individuals just to see how best they can help us to reach our target. Now, as I said, the target is 170,000, right? One Coca-Cola basket. Help us to achieve this goal. All right. I have a bit of announcement. This announcement is in relation to my aunt, Isis Daly. She suffered a fall yesterday, the day before as well. We had to take her to the hospital where the doctor is looking at her. She should in fact be released. So I'm making you be aware so that you can continue to pray for her. If you're able to reach out to her, please do so. So she is in fact at a stage in her life where we will be wanting. So continue to pray, continue to give your support. Alright?
Oh, just give our love and hospital visit is very tight, but just let myself and Farah know when either of us or both of us can do the visit. So just let us know.
Yeah, she is on the ward, I believe it's called Mercy Cold Ward. Yeah, so that's the ward that she's on.
Public. So just continue to encourage Cleon and pray for Sister Alison Cleary. Wow. Such is life. Have a good and fruitful week. Oh, before I go on, I want to say anything about yesterday with the catechist. I already said it this morning.
Well, basically, I think they said it all. The problems are universal, not only here but everywhere. The troubles are the same, too few to do the work, but they got some, they got some materials, and they're fired up. They're fired up to move, and to move some of the children that seem to be a little bit lackadaisical.
Okay, again, the catechist, as I said this morning, I actually did not remember anything about it because talent was on my mind, poetry from Friday and straight up. So, but I really appreciate the catechist, and because they are doing the work at the past and the week, and should be doing. So, how to do what we thank the catechist, and we continue to pray and bless you, and we always take guidance from you. Please stand and bow your heads for God's blessing.
May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
The Master said then, go and announce the gospel of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Our Assembly 14, number 419, the voice that thunder shaken all. Number 419.